Greetings wherever you are watching me from. My name is Nafula Brenda. Mount Kenya University is approaching a new election season. Students are therefore tasked with choosing the leaders who will make a positive change in the school. With me, I am joined by Mkusa, Chairperson Aspirant, who will be telling us about what his manifestos are for the school if elected into the Chairperson's office. Out of the 7 aspirants, it's only him who showed up for the interview. After this conversation, the decision is there for you as to make. Welcome to the program. Thank you very much, sir, for turning up to this interview. Probably you can just begin by introducing yourself to the viewer.
Thank you very much. I'm Saitoti Joshua Sanet. I'm a student in Mount Kenya University pursuing a bachelor's degree in economics and statistics. Apparently, I'm an aspirant in the position of the chairperson, the Mkusa elections. Thank you.
Do you understand the roles of a Mkusa chairperson? And if yes, then what are these roles?
Well, thank you. There are a number of them. One, you are obligated as the chairperson to represent the students in any meeting in the committee, as in the board of management, and anything that relates to the students and the student council. Secondly, you are obligated to be a co-signatory in any instruments of power, that's in the student council. Something else is that you coordinate the student council and the administration. And something else is to make sure that every other committee or every other association or under the Mkusa works cordially. There's a good relationship between the leadership of the Mkusa. That's my role. And something else is maybe to make sure that the students are at peace with the administration.
What do you think the previous regime or the outgoing regime did not achieve that you feel once elected into the chairperson's office you'll be able to achieve? What do you think they did not achieve that you want to achieve so far?
Well, the situation now is that the students are really yearning for leaders that will be the voice of the many problems and atrocities they're facing. Actually, when we voted in the outgoing regime, we had a lot of expectation from them. But you see, currently, we have so many issues affecting us, and the students are lacking the leadership that is supposed to speak for them. One case is about security. We have in the past experienced some kind of the students being robbed, others being stabbed, others knocked by these vehicles, and we've lacked the leadership, the student leaders to come out and speak. You saw what happened in Nairobi University the other day when their student was knocked by a vehicle. You saw the president and the leadership were there at the university way addressing the issue. And actually, it was addressed. But you see, in our leadership or in our university, we lack the leaders that have the bravery, that have the courage to speak out these issues. In Thika, actually, every other time and again, we've had students that are stolen, others are stabbed. So many things happening around Runda, Starehe, and along the Migingo highway. So we need leaders that are ready to face these issues and speak out. Unless we come out and our voices are heard, then our situation will remain the same. Coming to in-house issues, the fee problem. Actually, when you see this problem of a student lacking fee, in a constitution we're given the student kitty. And the previous regimes, they have really tried to push for the same. But I feel there's a solution to this. If given the chance to be the chair, actually I'm thinking of a Somesha Mwenzako initiative. This thing will help us get funds from different quarters that will help these students, those that are really in need of help. Because when we start depending on this kitty, so many people have fought for it. But I feel when we have an alternative of the same, then it will work best for us. So I think there's much we can do. Coming to maybe the student-lecturer relationship, we have to improve and speak as the student leaders. There's an issue of missing marks. There's an issue of cut marks. Some other people fail to graduate. And these are issues that we need to address. Because if we don't address as leaders, then we shall also fail in the same trap. One day, of course, I have to graduate. But if I don't correct the system, then I'll also be there facing the same problem. So we need to speak out these issues.
You've mentioned something to do with getting funds. How will you really ensure that that happens? Because I believe that some things you just have to push before they happen. So how are you going to make sure that that really happens?
Well, being a chair of such a very big university is something prestigious. And it is unless you understand the importance of that office, it will help the students because you can access every other government association or institution with the certificate or even the documents that you are the student leader, and you can get money from these counties. Let me tell you, you can access these governors, you can access the MPs of these areas. Their students are here. For example, I come from Narok. If, for example, we have some students here, and you can go to the county. We tell them, these students have few problems. We can help them. They give some resources. We write proposals to various organizations, and they will really help because this is something that will help the community, the students, for us to get this education.
Wow, that is so nice of you. So once the students are elected into leadership positions, they turn into self-serving leaders, yet they are expected to deliver and do what they have been chosen to do. What are you going to do that you don't also turn into a self-serving student? Because of course many of you give a lot of promises. Many of the aspiring leaders give a lot of empty promises which they never come to accomplish. What are you going to do to ensure that you don't turn into a person that will only hoard money or resources to your own pocket? Rather, you will do according to what you will have been elected to do.
Well, that's a very nice question, and let me tell you and the viewers and the students, you need to be very careful on the kind of leaders you get into these positions, because I can tell you for free, it's not all of us that are contesting for helping the students. And you can, of course, get to know right from here. We are a very big number of students that are contesting for this position. But you can see they have failed to turn up. Reason being, some of them are coward. In fact, some of them served in the previous regimes, and they know they are failures. And of course, they feared that maybe they could be asked such questions. But I want to tell you this. My core and primary reasons of campaigning or maybe contesting for this position is because I feel the pinch of what is affecting us as students. I've served as a class rep since I came here. And so we have so many issues affecting our students. And if we lack the right people to address, and of course, if we elect these people who are self-centered, they're just after making money, we end up missing the mark. We shall always be crying year in, year out. But I tell you this, let us study the character of every aspirant. Let us get to know who is this person. In the previous or even in the past, who is this person? You follow him before you make a decision. This is a lifetime decision. Once he's there, you have no power to get him out. So you have to study these people as early as now before reaching to this point of electing them. So this goes to the delegates because now the system has changed actually. So we are depending on the delegates. So I'm trying to tell these delegates, please be very informed the kind of leadership you get to give us, because you can either give us leaders that will transform this university or give us tumbocrats. We've got tumbocrats, let me tell you. People who are seeing the much they can get from that position. They get money from the activities we have in the institution. Some other people have the goal of getting something. But I want to tell you for sure, mine is only to make somebody's life better. Actually, that's my primary reason. I don't care of the money, maybe I'll be paid. But of course, I have to touch somebody's life. The initiative of starting a Somesha Mwenzako, I will also even contribute my own money. Maybe the small salary I'll be getting, it is something that we shall start. You got to know this Mendami program, which was begun by our former president, Bwana Owila. It is something that is touching lives. That is the same thing I want to do. I want to touch somebody's life, maybe for contributing some amount to make him or to enable him finish education. So let us be very clear. We have so many aspirants, and of course, don't think all of us are there to help the students. Some other people are seeing some good amounts. And of course, there are those who served in the previous regime, and we know their scorecard. Some people stole money, and they own cars. They own cars. They're only hiding them. There is time for them to reveal. Let us be very observant as delegates and, of course, as the student body. Thank you very much.
Section 48 of the Principal Amended Universities Constitution Act 2016 stipulates that similar gender should not hold office of the chair and vice chair, respectively. Now, what do you think will happen at the eventuality that you are elected in as the chairperson and your vice is also of your gender?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. In the event that this occurs, this can be maybe brought to some kind of dialogue between the student council and the administration so that they can sort away a solid solution to the same. Because actually you can see, going back to the elections, that's waste of resources, only for one position. No, it will be a problem. So maybe we can take it to the administration and a solution will be found. So ultimately we have to have a lady so that we can be fair to the ladies and even to the men. Because at some point, a lady can be the chair. And in fact, today we have a lady president, a chair fighting for the same. And we also have the ladies fighting for the deputies. I have not heard of a deputy man.
Have you held any other leadership positions before, and how did you manage?
Well, I can say leadership is in me, in my blood, actually, because since my primary schooling life, I began from being a kitchen captain in primary class, kitchen captain. The dining hall, we called it the dining hall or the DH in those days. Then after that, I went to the assistant head boy. It was a boarding school, actually. And I became the assistant head boy. Then after that, I exited as primary. I went to high school. And in high school, I served as the president, the student council. And in fact, I was privileged to attend the mighty Obama weekend in 2015, Kasarani. I was chosen in Narok County to come and represent the students. I really feel like honored in that position. Well, coming to the university, I straight away became a class rep. I became a class rep. In fact, all the classes I attended, the units, the common units. Every other time the lecturer could say, we need a class rep, they will say, Setoti to be a class. And I feel like, oh my God, it's so nice. I've built my capacity in leadership. Also in the Christian Union, served as a film fellowship leader at some point, and mission and evangelism secretary. And I'm happy about the same.
So you've mentioned the positions that you've held since you were young. How did you manage those positions? Because that's what I want to hear.
Well, I think it is only about being devoted and being responsible. Because I feel, in fact, at some point when I was in high school, when there was rampant burning of schools, it happened my school wanted to, the guys wanted to do some destruction. And I think it was so tough on me because I really had to work it out that it should not happen. So it is about commitment, it's about discipline, it's about responsibility, it's about taking it and putting it in action, being the real leader.
Recently, we've had and seen so many cases of students going on strikes because maybe their needs have not been adhered to either by the school management or by the authorities in charge. Now, what would be your approach when crisis emerges in an institution as a leader? Well,
as a leader, then you have to be very careful because when dealing with issues regarding comrades, you have to be very up to the task. But actually, we have to engage in some kind of discussion, maybe with the relevant people. If it is an issue between the comrades and the administration, then this must be a dialogue and a talk between the Mkusa leadership and the administration. And we have so many approaches in place. We can use dialogue, negotiation, we can speak to each other. And ultimately, if they all fail, the Constitution speaks very well that it gives us a room for a demonstration. But before it reaches to that level, then we must have dealt the issue in-house. And actually, when now it fails, coming to the point of maybe having a demonstration, then we have to be very careful. Actually, myself, I need to be very careful because there are repercussions of a demonstration. Going there, there's those feelings of the comrades. And, there's one man who said, in fact, is the former National Assembly Speaker, Manola Kaparo, he said that in every politician or in every person, there is a child in him. So there is that childhood that will come out. Every other time when people are given some freedom, they feel to bring some kind of, some immature acts. And you find that the comrades will start misbehaving. So we need to be very careful when approaching some kind of a demo. So in my approach, when we are thinking of the same, then we need to consult or to inform the relevant authorities. That is the police. You have to get an order from them that we have this kind of a demo and they should give us the necessary security. And in case of anything that is between the comrades and the police, then they should be responsible. But I don't really believe in going for a demo because there are so many repercussions. A student might lose his life, property might be destroyed, and all these, actually, sometimes we do them, you think that you're doing it out of conscience or maybe out of negligence. But these are the things that will follow you thereafter. As a comrade or as a leader, when I'm doing this, there's future. And also, future is affected by history. What you did will affect you in the future. So sometimes you need to be very clear as comrades and the leaders. Whatever we do, whatever action we do, just know that it will act against you some other time. So demos, they're not healthy, but as the Constitution records, if something is extreme, like for example, issues of insecurity, that's something that is affecting the students and the outside, the community, then this is something we can speak out. We can speak out so that we can be heard. We cannot deal these issues in-house or even under the bed because they will affect us. So we need to come out as leaders. In fact, you can call a peaceful demo, not even walking. You just come, you call people, we speak, we call the press, we address our issues so that they can be solved. So that's it. Thank you.
Well said, Mr. Saitoti. What would you do if it happens that it was meant to be a peaceful demonstration, but then it happens that the students have striked and their anger has risen to a point that they start destroying the school property, like what happened in Kenyatta University early this month when they went on strike involving even the police? I remember these students destroyed the school property and even they were able to interfere with the business around. What would you do if you were given this position as a chair and it happens that maybe there is anticipated strike among students in the school? What exactly would you do?
Well, and that's why I said I don't really believe in strikes because there are repercussions and there are things that will come along by the same. So at some point, when that happens, then we need to consult. We bring every person on board. We bring the comrades on board. We bring the issues affecting us on board. We see this issue can be addressed this way. We sort out on how we can address them. Before we go speak out, we go strike, we go yelling every other place, we go throwing vehicles, So we need to bring them on board. Let me tell you, every demo is never caused by maybe 10 or 100 people. It's only one person. One or two will just collude somewhere and then start bring some speculation, all that, and it rises to be a demo. So we need to bring them out, bring them to the board. They address their issues. We tell them these are the solutions. Then we can even get to know the source of all this. But we cannot just address something blank and you think it is, when it is just something small. So that's it.
What's your vision for Mount Kenya University students, especially in terms of nurturing talents in co-curricular activities?
Well, thank you very much. As the vision of the institution states very well, that is unlocking the infinite possibilities. In fact, I'm trying to unlock mine. Yeah, my possibilities of leadership. And that's why I'm here. And of course, I can as well do the same to a comrade there out who needs maybe an upper hand to enable him maybe to realize his dream. We've got so many people with talents, people who can sing very well, people who can play, people who are creative. So when given a humble environment, when given a conducive environment for the same, then you can see we shall reach the heights of education as the university states. So I'm really passionate about developing or giving some people motivation. As leaders, sometimes the issue of egocentrism comes along because if you're so self-centered, you will not help a comrade there out. So the best thing is you try to impact a life. See something good in somebody, then help him to bring it up. To these delegates, don't tell me a delegate will go maybe campaigning just in vain. It is something in him. So it is leadership that is in that person. So to help him, for example, I'll bring up a program of mentorship of these delegates. We empower them. We give them, training. We organize training maybe in a semester twice. They have trainings so that, we can nurture the leadership in them. Because these are the people who have come out to show that, they have some leadership spirit in them. These singers, we organize events, the cultural nights, we even expand them. We have them twice in a regime. We have the singers, we organize for a night, for talent, show, all that. We search talents, we promote them. We seek for connections from different quarters. I have a lot of personally. I'm thinking of, developing talents of this comrade. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a great vision that you have for Mount Kenya University students to be achieved within a very short time, but I wish you all the best. We have come to the end of the program, but before we close, I give you 2 minutes to talk to the comrades.
Thank you very much, Brenda, for this session. I really enjoyed, and I know next time I'll be the sitting chair. So I look forward to come. Hello, comrades. This is Saitoti Sanet, your incoming chair, Mkusa chair, and I have this to say. Thank you for how you've been during this time of campaign. You've interacted well, and I look forward to interact with you more. And even when I'm in the office, and I look forward to bring sanity in that office. In fact, what we need is accountability. We need reasoning, leaders that are reasoning. We need responsibility. We need people who are ready to serve. We need servants, not bosses. So I want to tell you this. I'm here as a servant leader, as I've outlined in my poster, that I'm ready to serve you, regardless of the situation. And I want to remind you this, leaders are never defined by situations, but they are always leaders. They are there time in, time out, ready to serve, ready to sacrifice for the betterment of the lives of this comrade. So I want to tell you this, fought Saitoti, fought change, fought responsibility, fought accountability, fought reasoning and people that are ready to give themselves for the comrades. Let us do away with tumbocrats. Let us do away with hypocrisy. Let's do away with people that are self-centered. So to the delegates, please, I kindly request for your support, for your vote, and because you are the people now given the responsibility to give us the next Mkusa leadership. So be diligent, be careful on whom you're going to vote in, because you'll account for the same. You are given the responsibility by the comrades, so make the best decision, because it will count. Thank you so much. Thank you, madam, for giving this opportunity.
You're welcome, Mr. Saitoti. Thank you so much also for availing yourself. It's such a great honor, and I wish you all the best once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and also for making this interview a success.
You're welcome.
Thank you, dear viewer, for your company and for watching this program to the end. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And you can follow me on Twitter at Brenda Nafula, on Facebook, Nafula Brenda, and of course on YouTube, Nafula Brenda site. Thank you for watching. I wish you all the best in whichever good or whatever good that you are doing wherever you are.